Great to have your company on another edition of the Tales of the Lexus Melbourne Cup. And when we speak of Melbourne Cup stories, there are none bigger and better than last year. An Australian victory taking on the world, and it is great to have the connections, including champion jockey Craig Williams and part owners with us on this edition. Craig Williams, to you, welcome. I bet you love reliving the tale of Vow and Delcare.
Yeah, so I've had a really fortunate career, but every time I talk about, the 5th of November and in 2019, the hairs in the back of my neck stand up. And as I've got long hair at the moment due to COVID lockdown here in Victoria, and there's a lot of hairs in the back of my neck. So there's a lot that is standing up, but it's amazing to relive. And no wonder it has been a passion of mine to always dream of winning Australia's greatest race, but to actually then going to win it, and after 16 attempts at it, to do it on an Australian bred horse, Australian owned horse, Australian trained, and it just makes it more special, especially now that the race is now an international targeted race. So and again, it's so special because the people of Australia and now around the world make it that special. So it just drives me to want to get that feeling again and try and find the next Vow and Delcare going forward.
Vow and Delcare up on the inside. Vow and Delcare, Prince of Aaron is lifting late with Il Paradiso. Master of Reality just in front. Vow and Delcare kicks. Vow and Delcare's won it for Australia. They're on top of the world.
Well, not only did it put you on the map, it put Gympie on the map as well, with the majority of the owners coming from a place most people around the world hadn't heard of until Vow and Delcare hit the line. And it is great to have a chat to Anthony Lanskey and Bob Leitch, two of the part owners and two of the men who run Gympie as well. Great to see you guys. How are you?
Very well, thanks.
Well, Michael, thanks.
Tell us what the last 12 months has been like for you guys. And I love the placement of the Lexus Melbourne Cup. Has it been far from your reach since that fabulous first Tuesday, November?
No, not at all. When we received it up here, it's an Owners' Cup, and we certainly keep it close at hand there and right at the front of the door as you walk in. I'm not sure if anyone can miss it.
Now, Bob, you're the deputy mayor. So
I was
the
deputy mayor.
Well, at the time, have you instituted a public holiday for Vow and Delcare?
Oh, there might have been some calls for a ticker tape parade on our return, but we calmed that, and I think there were more important things happening in Gympie at the time.
And Anthony, you were the principal of the local high school as well, so surely all the kids got a day off.
No, I'd love to have been able to give them a day off, but no, it was back to business straight away, and they certainly celebrated on the day, but back to normal as much as quickly as we could possibly do it. But it's always been a topic of conversation in the last 12 months anyway. And now that we're nearing the 2020 Lexus Melbourne Cup, it's emerging again as part of the conversation as we go around the school.
How important was that cup win to the town? Because you've been going through a pretty tough period at that time.
Yeah, it certainly had been very dry. And I think it just... everyone had a little bit of enthusiasm about life again. The local hotels were told that they run out of money. They were sending people away. We can't pay you out today. You need to come back next week if you want to cash your ticket in. The local race club had a day. There's a lot of cheering, a lot of noise. It certainly created a good feel around the town.
And we heard from you, Craig, it took you so long to win the race that you dreamt so long about. For these guys and for the majority of the owners, it was the very first horse they have raced.
Well, racing's easy, as you can ask them. Racing's easy. So I guess it's only downhill from now to win the greatest race that we have in Australian calendar and in their first horse. So, but that's what makes the story so special. There's no doubt that I didn't even know Gympie. I wasn't the best student at school. That's why I wanted to be a jockey, but I definitely know about Gympie now. And I think what makes it so special now is the fact that the Melbourne Cup and the Melbourne Cup Tour, which Vow and Delcare now has his name on the honour roll, and Gympie's a big part of the storytelling of it was 159 running of the Melbourne Cup. It does reach far and wide to all the parts of Australia, and I think that's what makes it special. The initiative from the VRC to then bring in little towns and communities every state and territory of Australia. It's great recognition because it truly is the people's race. It does stop our nation, and like I keep saying, it is now targeted around the world, and we were able to keep it in Australia last year thanks to Vow and Delcare's amazing performance on that day.
And Anthony, for you and the other fellow owners, it was almost a sliding door moment that meant that Vow and Delcare came your way because your uncle bred him, but he wanted to sell him.
He did. He put him into the English sale to see if he could sell him on, and he was passed in. And then I got a call a few weeks after that, and he said, "Well, I'm going to keep him. Would you be interested?" And he offered a share, and I had a couple of mates through footy, and my two boys at the time. One of them who'd just graduated from uni, and I was trying to work out what kind of university, what gift could I give him to celebrate that achievement, and said to him, "Would you be interested in a share in the horse?" And he jumped at it, and so. That and having my uncle and my cousins as well, and obviously the rest of the ownership team, we've all got to know each other over that time. But it was remarkable that again, sliding door is exactly what it was about. We look back, and I think Bob's 50th was coming up at that time, and none of us had a horse before, and we thought, well, let's have a go and offer that for Bob. And as you say, the rest is history, and we're very, very blessed that it's happened.
That's what the dream of the Melbourne Cup is all about. Can you take us into the inner sanctum for those who won't get to experience what you guys have been through? When the gates opened, you're standing in the mounting yard at Flemington. You've got one of the favourites in our greatest race, and you've got Craig Williams from an outside barrier who takes him to the front. What was the whole experience like?
I don't know if I could use the exact words that we used at the first time past the post, but
Stop the race.
Stop the race. But it was for those the 3 minutes or so that it occurs. It's whilst it's a blur, it's also pretty vivid as you relive it.
Hold your breath.
And Bob and I always stand next to each other when the horse jumps, because I've got to make sure that we keep a lid on the early crow. And he's, I stand to his right side, so when he starts whipping it home, I cop it on the last bit. And I can tell you that last 200 metres,
it's a couple of bruised ribs.
There was a few bruised ribs at the end of it, but it was
all acceptable.
Yeah, a masterful ride, Craig. We all the way along, I suppose we were optimistic, but certainly not confident, and we knew we had a pretty special horse, but obviously biased in that opinion. But to see him particularly come back in that last 50 metres, it was he'd fought back, and I know that he's pipped a previous horse at the post on Oaks Day the year before. See that footage a fair bit, but it was a great finish, and a masterful ride by Craig to take the initiative and go to the front, knowing that he had a good horse under him.
Well, Craig, take us into the race. What goes through your mind when you've come from an outside barrier, you're in front of the winning post the first time in a Melbourne Cup?
I said it once before with Requiem, take a photo, because if it's not going to be there for next lap, at least I got there for the first lap. So it is quite a nice feeling. But because the race is only one at the winning post that second lap, and because they're the world's best targeted horses in the handicap for 3,200 metres, it's never over until the end of it. And Vow and Delcare proved that. It doesn't have to be a major margin. You just have to be in front. I remember actually going back and saying, just go back and just keep him balanced, just keep encouraging him and in balancing him and not worrying about anything else. That it was just another normal race, but we weren't in front at this stage. But I could just see out of the corner of my eye, I could see something then coming up and feeling it. And it was coming up really fast, and we weren't quite at the post, but we weren't at front at the same time. And then I remember feeling pressure from the outside, and then all of a sudden, at the end of 2 mile, at the end of a grueling race, and at the strongest competition you could possibly ask for in a Group 1 handicap in Australia targeted, that he actually Vow and Delcare surged and actually propelled him to go. So, and I remember going, oh well, we just now won the Melbourne Cup, and it was just so special. And I remember just being a blubbering mess under my glasses, but wow, it is just so special. And
It was such a thrilling finish. Did you gents think you'd won on the line?
Oh, with the call, Matty Hill's call basically, probably sealed it for us, because when we're in the mounting yard, you've still got probably 100, 150 metres to go until the finish post. So when he's come past us, all I could think of was, oh my God, we're going to run a place. We're going to run a place in the Melbourne Cup. How good's that? And then, when he's won it for Australia, we're on top of the world. That just sealed it for everyone. And that's when pandemonium broke loose in the yard, and I think I copped an stray elbow from Bob, and I lost my glass.
I lost my glasses. I had I can't say that I had hair standing up on the back of my neck because I don't have too much. But, I was watching the last bit on the screen, and some part of me said, "We've got this." And I remember turning around, looking at Anthony and Court, because we always stand together, and at that point, Matty Hill's gone up. We've won it, and then we sort of lost ourselves in the next 20 seconds. Fair bit of hugging and jumping around. So
a bit of crying too. It was
tears.
It's pretty hard to explain, really. It's just that you got all those emotions all at once, and being able to share it with your best mates and family, it's just, there's nothing better.
Hey, actually, Bob, can you grab the cup behind you? Is that in arm's reach?
the cup's always in arm's reach. It only just got out of my bed.
Can you hold it, guys, and just look at it and describe what it's like to hold the Melbourne Cup?
It just doesn't change. We're very very proud of it, but to walk, I don't know. It's you just can't imagine that you would ever be doing this. I suppose that sticks in my mind. I walk into the house at times and look at it and go, "Geez, that's the Melbourne Cup." It's and then of course we've got a couple of pictures up here and the caricature of Craig. So as we walk through to the hallway, we take it all in. It's an amazing feeling. I feel privileged. I feel lucky. And as I said, it's a very romantic feeling. There's no doubt about that.
And Vow and Delcare will win the Melbourne Cup for Craig Williams. He becomes the 9th jockey to win the Grand Slam. He's got the cup.
The people of Australia, they make our Melbourne Cup that special every year. And that's why I think, to me, it is so special. I've been really fortunate to win all the great races. That one was now put me to the eighth all-time Grand Slam of Australian racing. So it did elude me. But I can tell you, for everything that I've achieved here and overseas, it's the Melbourne Cup that the people recognise. It doesn't matter from any walk of life. It is just that special a race. And I think it's great that we can share it. I think it's great that iconic three-handled trophy that goes around Australia, because it does really galvanise the people. And I think through this COVID-19 pandemic, as they say, hopefully this is something that can really galvanise and restart the Australian nation.
Yeah, well said, Craig. And every owner dreams of winning a Melbourne Cup, let alone winning two. And that's the record that awaits Vow and Delcare and you guys this year. Have you been dreaming about going back to back, and what do you think that would be like?
It was overwhelming, to be honest, to win the first time. And it's you talk about what emotions. It's you're happy, you're crying, you nearly wee your pants. We jumped on each other. We have thought about it, obviously, and the horses being prepared that way. And there's a whole host of that. Well, there's 24 other quality horses that are going to be in the race, and 24 jockeys who are quality jockeys. So we're just hoping that he's well prepared, and that certainly looking forward to it. And you never know. I would never have dreamt of this 2 years ago. So I'm certainly looking forward to this year.
We don't want to be greedy, but it would be very hard to replicate the euphoria from last year. But he's still fitting well, touch wood, and that's the plan for this year. And we hope to dream, even though we've already won one. Well, let's go again.
Well, Bob, Anthony, Craig, it is great to get you together to tell another tale, one of the most famous tales of the Lexus Melbourne Cup, and we wish you good luck this year as well.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Michael.